All right. First of all, just want to start out and commend our fans. I thought this building was unbelievable tonight. Our fans never cease to amaze me how they can transform this building into such an unbelievable home field advantage. And we had talked a lot about trying to play the type of performance that they deserved. And, incredible atmosphere tonight. I'm so proud of our football team. How we've kind of handled really this first portion of the season. And I talked a lot about this being a culmination of a lot of learning moments, a lot of growth as a team, a lot of growth for individual players collectively, the three phases of our team. And they responded and continued to show what complementary football and winning the turnover battle will inevitably do for a good football team, which I believe we are. Across the board, there was a lot of elite performances in my mind. Jordan Addison with his first 100-yard game. T.J. Hawkinson, 11 receptions, 86 yards. Danielle Hunter with his 80th career sack. The offensive line as a whole, and throw T.J. Hawkinson in there as well for a huge block to essentially play the best front in football and not give up a single sack. It's a credit to Kirk and for sure that group up front. Cam Bynum with the 2 interceptions, but Kirk Cousins was absolutely fantastic tonight in critical moments, time after time, progressing, seeing the whole field, and absolutely dialed in every phase of our game plan. So we could have finished a little better in the red zone, had some opportunities. I got to give our guys some better plays down there, and we'll continue to improve there, but just want to credit Flo, his staff, up against Kyle and that group. That's a heck of a challenge, and they responded tonight with a great plan, and our guys went out and executed. Just a quick injury update. Addison did have the cramps and was able to return for a couple big plays there at the end. T.J. Hawkinson was able to return from an ankle, as well as Brian Asamoah.
Cameras actually caught you telling TJ to get down once in the first half. Is that just because you wanted to not?
Yeah, he had. It was more so about if he's coming out, kind of similar to maybe what you guys saw when we took a delay late in a previous game this year. When a guy either comes on or comes off late, we're pretty meticulous about what personnel is on the field, what we're going to call with those guys in the game. So it just allows us all a chance, reset. And he was injured. So I credit all of our guys' toughness, but sometimes, depending on the time of the game and situation of the game where the clock really is not an issue, he was able to, come back in the game from that, which was really impressive.
For first series, Jordan is kind of out-muscled for the interception and then comes back. Just what are you learning about the toughness of maybe one of the smaller guys on the field?
Yeah, physical and mental toughness. We asked him to do a lot. He did a lot for us tonight in the game plan, and just, you just take that end of half play that he makes, and essentially it's the same type of thing. This was versus an all-out pressure. The guys up front, Kirk made a great check, and, for him to make that play on that ball where it was a game-changing play. It's everything that, Jordan's been everything that I hoped for from the moment I cut on the tape of his time in college, but he's been more than that. He's been, really taking on a role within our team, within our offense. He's earned an incredible amount of trust from Kirk and the rest of our guys. Jordan was fantastic tonight, and this is for sure a performance he can build on for the future.
Yeah, for the offensive line to do what they did against that front, did that mean a little more to that group, do you think?
I think so. They knew the challenge. They knew, listen, Nick Bosa is a phenomenal player, and you have to be locked in on every single snap all night long, regardless of circumstance. But they also have Armstead and Hargraves, and they've got other players that continuously come at you. And if you're not locked in one moment, it can be catastrophically bad. And I thought our tackles have been really, really good all year for us. But to answer the bell like they did tonight, you can't say enough about CD and Brian O'Neill for what they mean to this team. But how about Dalton Reisner stepping in there? How about Ed Ingram's continued progression? To me, this guy just continues to get better and better, and obviously having Garrett back in there now consistently running the show, the rapport between him and Kirk is tremendous. But I gave that whole group a game ball, and they, this one will be special for them.
Going against this offense without Davenport, are you surprised they were able to hold 17 points? Did you see that coming into the game?
You know what? I'm not surprised at all. I know how well coached that group is over there. I know that we're going to come up with the best possible plan to put our guys in position to have success. And then as we challenged our players all week long to do, they needed to try to match the physicality of one of the more physical teams in the National Football League. I thought our D-line played on their side of the line of scrimmage. I thought we set great edges, DJ Wanham, Daniil, Pat Jones. And then that allowed our backers and safeties to be involved in some plays. They were going to make some plays, but it was about the next snap, and it was about finding that opportunity with that next snap to go make the play. If it was, you never know when it's going to come, and a lot of guys made plays tonight.
What is it like to have your football team as a group play the way you know they can play?
Yeah, we've been talking about it. I know sometimes especially for me, early on in the season, I talked a lot to you guys and our team about still chasing that performance that we feel like is inside that locker room, that we feel like we can collectively do, regardless of circumstance, regardless of adversity. And like I said, I thought our team has grown. Our team has grown closer. We've got great leadership. I feel very strongly about our coaching staff, but really these players. Tonight is about these players. I just can't say enough. For not only our captains, our young leadership. We're filling some voids of some guys out right now, JJ, Marcus, but nothing's ever going to be an excuse around here. We're gifted with another opportunity in front of our fans, getting our first home win, long overdue, and hopefully we can build on this.
What did you think Kirk was you said he was locked in. What was he locked in on, or what was the vibe with him?
Yeah, he talked a lot to the offense yesterday about, when the schedule comes out and you're going to be playing at home on Monday Night Football against this team. I have so much respect for Kyle, for their whole offense and defensive staff, and then they've got really, really good players. They've built that team the right way. And Kirk talked to our offense about, hey, these are the types of games you can really measure what you're capable of, and really meeting the moment, capturing the moment with your execution, and being willing to turn it loose, regardless of what happened on the previous play. Just turn it loose, be confident in the guys next to you. And, I think Kirk's message was well received clearly by our offense, but that carried over to our whole team, and that's leadership. We could go for the next 35, 40 minutes about the way he played individual plays, where he was overcoming some circumstances, moving within the pocket, trusting the protection, and seeing the whole field. And against that team, that's big-time quarterback play in my mind. Yesterday during the day, yeah. And then we had a team meeting this morning, and I could tell this team was locked in, ready to go. It was just going to be about trusting in the guys next to them and turning it loose, and our guys did that tonight. I'm really proud of them.
You've talked this year about fighting that here we go again mentality.
Yep.
Just how big to force that fumble on that opening possession after you guys turned it over to.
I thought it was huge. I thought it was absolutely huge, but our defense has done that for us. Think about last week, at Chicago late in the half. We have Kirk's arm gets hit, and regardless of circumstance, adversity provides an opportunity. This is really one of the few sports on the planet where if one group of guys goes out there and a negative play happens, that group normally comes off the field, and a whole other group that wasn't on the field has to go respond. And I think whether it was Jordan last week, Cam this week, collectively as a group, that whole group, Flo and his staff, that was a huge, huge play. And then offensively to come back on the field, drive it, and go score on a critical third down, pitch and catch there to Jordan behind some great protection. It all came together in a way where I think there's going to be some real growth opportunities from this, but we have a short week, second opportunity in the NFC North. That's going to be a challenge going to Lambeau against a really good football team on a short week, and we've got to move on and go back to work and be ready to sustain the success we're able to leave US Bank with tonight.
Cam Bynum's really just kind of taking hold of that spot. I mean, what do you see that he does so well and continues to come up in big situations?
To me, all year long, his tackling has really jumped out. He's been consistently right around, if not near, the top 5 in tackling. in the NFL. He's in a different kind of position than he was, quite honestly, a year ago, where he played a little bit more in the deep part consistently. But when we ask him to do that now, Harry or Metellus around the line of scrimmage, Cam still is really, really good in the deep part of the field both times tonight. And that last interception was, as far as him going up to get it, very tip of his fingers, looked familiar going back to the Kansas City game, and he makes that play. And that's what I'm just so proud of our guys. Not worrying one bit about what's transpired, but letting that fuel us to know, A, we're capable, we're confident, and we're going to go make those plays. Just go out there and play. Let's not think about it. We didn't talk a lot about what we couldn't do. We just emphasized the things we had to do, we felt like, to win the football game.
Cam mentioned that the Kansas City one when he was talking to us. That
Yeah.
just went over his fingers. I mean, in some ways, is that? Do you look at what happened in the first few games compared to the last few games as just that little much?
Yeah, like I said, Kevin, I really do think it's a culmination of this team's growth and how we've dealt with adversity, their belief in one another, to put on a performance like that, complimentary. The way it did start, it would have been very easy for a lot of groups to say, here we go again, not against this team. We better pack it in and get ready to play Green Bay next week. And there wasn't one person collectively on our sideline, or it felt like in this stadium, wearing purple, that didn't feel like we were going to find a way to capture that momentum back, captured the lead back, and then didn't give it up.
Has talked about an identity for the defense.
Yep.
I guess how did that show up tonight? How the identity is coming together?
I just think, like I said, I think Flo and his group are doing a great job, really painting a picture of what it's going to take to play our style and find ways against. Really, they've played some really, really good offensive units this year, and when the complementary football happens, when we can possess the football. Convert third downs, stay on the field offensively, they can go back out there and be fresh, and that's how it all works together, both phases. But I think the identity of this defense, the best part about it in my mind is we can morph and change based upon what's required, and I think that's a really good formula with the type of coaches we have and especially because of the type of players we have to allow to continue to evolve and change, understand what we're strong at and continue to try to find ways to keep people off balance. Can't say enough about the job that he and his staff and our players did defensively tonight. Thank you, guys.